Hey, welcome back. I was sick and thought it was normal, part 2. So welcome to Brain Snob episode 8. In episode 7, I titled it, I was sick and thought it was normal, part 1. Here's part 2. So go watch part 1 first and catch up. But I was talking about how throughout my life, little nagging things or distracting things were actually not good. I called it normal, and I was actually on the way to becoming very sick. However, we don't know better sometimes. We don't know what it's like to feel better. If your whole childhood was sickly, you think that's normal. And I sound like a broken record, but what you experience in your younger life is imprinted on your brain. That's why we have Brain Snob episodes, to help us understand how the brain is just so sophisticated, but we can be just as sophisticated too, so we can take care of our brain issues and have a vibrant life. I'm Dr. Lisa Ann Homick from Homick Advanced Chiropractic, and this is Brain Snob episode 8. Everyone should be a brain snob. It is not an insult. It's a high compliment. It means that you have a lot of knowledge and understanding of how the brain works, so you can really harness your brain for excellent life. Because your brain makes your body, you do make your life. And I talked about what it was like in high school and college, just certain issues, my early experiences with medicine. I was not a sickly kid, thank goodness, but I was introduced to medicine and drugs. What else is medicine? Drugs. And I didn't have any injuries that required surgery. Although I had an appendectomy at age 7, I could think back. Why did I have an appendectomy at age 7? What was happening early on in my life that caused my appendix to be inflamed? It's a vital immune organ. It's thought of as useless today, but so far so good. Without it, I'm doing all right. Thank goodness we have a lot of other immune tissues and organs in our body that take over. But what was going on when I was a kid? I don't know. Should I be OCD and worry about it? Not at this point. But I left off in my story about my first introduction into chiropractic. And I was in the mental health field working with the chronically mentally ill. So that's schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, borderline personality disorder, and depression. Those are the main ones. And I had a support group for bipolar and ran that, and the folks there were very interesting, and I loved them to pieces. I was in the mental health field where you had psychiatrists coming to see you every 3 months or so, writing prescriptions, and I was the daily, weekly, to-go person for maintenance on the therapy side. So on the mental healing side, I did psychotherapy. But I saw these folks falling through the cracks, and it was a little bit of a struggle for me to feel that I was effective enough. And the folks just cycling in and out of just feeling badly about themselves. Because what is society telling them? Society is telling them, well, you've got a mental illness. And we don't want it to be a stigma, but yet it is. You're on medication. You've got to be on medication for life because your brain is broken. There's a biochemical imbalance in that brain. No one can measure it. It's all guesswork. And take these drugs, because if you don't take these drugs, then what are we going to do? We got nothing to write up in our little charts, our medical charts. After a while, I was looking at my folks and realizing they all were sitting outside smoking a cigarette. They were carrying a Diet Coke can in their hand, and they had bags of junk food, potato chips, cheese puffs, Twinkies, you name it. This was back in the day when I ate whatever I wanted because nothing affected me because I was still young and the water was rising but hadn't broken the dam yet. And when you are young and you feel like nothing can touch you, you're immortal, that's what's actually going on. The water is rising, no symptoms, no problems, because your body's tolerating it. But when that dam breaks, that's when you've reached a point of serious tissue damage. And of course, I ate whatever I wanted, but it dawned on me, I'm looking at these folks, and I said, a lot of sugar, a lot of artificial sweetener, a lot of junk food that I personally didn't eat once in a while, I confess, and the cigarette smoking. And I studied a lot about schizophrenia and cigarette smoking. There is some type of a benefit there. They don't get lung cancer, as odd as that sounds, but everyone else, I don't know. Do you want to risk it? So I said to myself, how are their heads functioning with this polluting kind of diet? And that got me on the road of natural healing. And let's see, that was around the same time I became vegetarian and had that great experience of not eating crap food in restaurants, and I felt really good. And that's the time of my life where it dawned on me, lifestyle matters. Around the time of my mental health work, I was starting to really feel like things weren't working out. People are on medicine, it's supposed to be the answer, they're not getting better. So they go to the psychiatrist, I'm sitting in on their appointments, and they say, my clients would say, I have this pain, I have that pain, I am bothered by it, it's disrupting my life. The psychiatrist says, well, that's not my realm, you need to go to your physician because that's physical. They go to their doctors run blood work and lab tests, whatever they can do as far as investigating their complaints. They come back to the psychiatrist and say, there's nothing wrong with me, my lab work is all normal, my doctor said it's all in my head and I need to go back to the psychiatrist. They're stuck, they're falling through the cracks. Something isn't being touched on in their body, in their physiology. We are totally missing the boat. And I started researching, what else can we do? How can we help people? Because they're not being reached from the medical side of physical medicine and the mental side of psychiatric medicine. It's not working. So I did a little research on my own, looking at different careers. I can't remember them all. Maybe hypnotherapy, homeopathy, naturopathy. What else? What else was popular? It's still popular now, but chiropractic was not on my radar, but somehow it popped in my head, thinking about things, and chiropractic, I don't know anything about it. All I know is it was on 2020 once, and if it was on 2020, it was important. I volunteered at a chiropractor's office on the weekends, and they taught me a lot. They also said, you should get under chiropractic care and see what it's like to be a chiropractic patient. I said, hey, no problem. So I went through the intake process, and I had x-rays, and I got adjusted. So here's what was pretty interesting to me from my age and place in life, where I knew lifestyle was important, but didn't really do much other than I was into fitness, a lot of running, and I was doing some weightlifting, and I started changing my diet around. And so I had an x-ray, and the most notable thing was in my neck, I had a neck x-ray, I had the formation of spurs. Age 29 now, nothing should be happening to you at age 29. Of course, I had no symptoms, I had no physical complaints. I'm healthy, I'm great, there's nothing going on. Also on this x-ray, I had a straight curve. You're supposed to have a slight C curve so that your discs can handle stress. But when it's straight, not good. Not good. So, remember when I said I had my appendix out around age 7? Something else happened, and this x-ray was pretty eye-opening to me. When I was 5 years old, I tripped in my bedroom and went head first into the radiator. Split my head open. The skin was split open, and I went to the emergency room and got stitched up. At age 5, my whole body weight just was jammed into my head and neck because I fell head first. No one said to my mother, she's all stitched up, she's fine, but by the way, maybe she should go to a chiropractor because her entire body weight, even at age 5, it adds up, just slammed into her head and neck. Nobody said that to my mom. So age 5, things started changing for me below the surface. I didn't know. So I had that at age 5. Age 7, I had my appendix out. Things were pretty good most of the time, but now I've got an x-ray that actually has a history, shows a snapshot of what's been going on. Because when you're a kid and you've got to develop very quickly and grow up until age 18 or 21, your body is going to take that information in your body and try to deal with it. So what was I missing out during my developmental quick stages of growing? I don't know, but going to the chiropractor helped me realize I had a lot of stuff of impacting my nerves, rewiring my brain, reprogramming my body. Good or bad, I don't know at that age. But did I want it to continue as I went into my 30s and my 40s? And that was a telling moment for me. And I decided that chiropractic was important. I learned about the Windsor autopsies, which was the game changer. It sealed the deal. That's what made me quit my job and go to chiropractic school. And I am going to continue on part 3 in another video. So let this message digest. I've got another handout in the office, and I titled it The Healing Difference. It's just a short guide of how inflammation damages the body and where it comes from, and why chiropractic matters when it comes to your healing. For your long-term healing, it's not something we do in one day. It is a journey, and I want everybody to be on an exciting journey. So I'm going to do part 3 in another video. So it'll be episode 9, but it'll be part 3 of I was sick and thought it was normal. So hang on for the ride. I hope you're enjoying it. So we can dive into a better future with a better brain, and we're going to learn how to move, feed, and talk to the brain. Here's how we do it. You visit the office. You read my blog. It's called createpurpose.com. You watch the orientation video. You start a conversation in the comments section below. You hit the subscribe button, and you also hit that bell for notifications. I want you to look for the next episode. Become a brain snob and be that positive ripple effect in your community. Thanks for watching.